Close your eyes for just a moment. Unless you're driving, then keep them open and just imagine. Imagine a room not made out of wood or brick or glass, a room made of thoughts, a room with uneven shelves and open windows. Not just any room, your room. But it's not in your house, it's in your mind. And in this room, thoughts float like paper birds. Ideas are stacked like books that haven't been written yet. There's music echoing from somewhere and light flickering on a wall like a memory trying to come through. Some corners are messy, others feel like a cathedral. That's where we are right now. Welcome to Inside the Creative Mind, Episode 1. But before we wander any deeper in today's creative maze, this moment, this space, is gently powered by YoCo Art, a creative studio where imagination turns into form, where ideas become objects and the unseen gets to speak. From custom art toys to poetic stories, from 3D dreams to laser-cut realities, YoCo is not just a brand, it's a world where creativity wears its truest colors. We build beauty for your ideas, and we give shape to the parts of your mind only you could see. You can come visit us on Instagram, where we live under soft and rusty pinks at YoCo_art. Dream with us, create with us, because everything starts inside the creative mind. I've always loved this image, a room as a metaphor for our creative minds. Some people's rooms are full of light, flowing with ideas. Others feel locked, dusty, or maybe a little haunted. Most of us have both. I've always wondered what creativity actually is. Is it a talent, a calling, a spark, a survival tool? Is it that strange urge to paint something at 3 a.m.? Or rewrite the same sentence 10 times just to feel like it finally says what your heart meant? The truth is, I don't know. Not exactly. But I've spent my whole life inside this mind of mine, and I've made it my home. A home full of art, confusion, wonder, messes, beginnings that never end, and the ending I wasn't ready for. But creativity isn't just about art. It's how we solve problems, how we see the world, how we tell a joke, how we arrange our words when we are trying to say I love you without saying it. So today, I want to take you on a little tour of that room. Not to clean it or to judge it, but to get to know it. This podcast is my way of inviting you in. Inside my mind, there is no straight hallways, only spirals made of color, curves that hum like violins, and corridors that lead from stardots to stories in the blink of a heartbeat. One moment, I'm painting galaxies with my eyelashes. The next, I'm photographing silence or dancing barefoot on a sentence I haven't written yet. My thoughts don't walk in line. They leap, they spin, they braid together like wind chimes in a storm, or flutter like postcards sent from 100 versions of myself. My mind is a house with pastel walls and doors that open to music, to the whisper of a camera shutter, to poems that bloom like coral. It's maximal and minimalist at once. Clean lines filled with chaos, confetti, mid-century curves wrapped in soft pinks and flashes of something electric, almost alien, almost divine. My compass is love. My wings are made of wisdom. My ink is pure creativity. I was born between stars and waves. So everything I make is a tide pulling beauty out of the dark and into the light. That's my ritual. My voice is sacred. Not always loud, but always true. My soul remembers things I've never been told. It whispers in patterns, in colors, in languages only the heart can translate. And yes, I'm different, which means my world is woven differently. Not broken, just weird, like snowflakes in spring, or a unicorn in a library, or a dream that forgot I had to end. Inside my mind, you won't find a map. You'll find a sky, limitless, alive, and always in bloom. People talk about the creative mind like it's something magical, like it's this magical place. And it is, but it's also so complex. Here's what I think lives in a creative mind. There's a lot of contradictions. You can feel confident and unsure at the same time. Color, a lot of color. Even when things feel dark, there's always a tint of something beautiful. There's stories, some truth, some imagined, some that haunt you until you tell them. There's doubt, always showing up in the middle of your best idea. And there's desire to say something, to change something, to create something that wasn't there before. Sometimes it's loud in here, sometimes it's silent, but it's never boring. There is a door in every creative mind labeled wonder. It's the first one that opens in childhood when you looked at clouds and saw dragons, or you made friends with shadows, or you built entire worlds out of cardboard and tape. That door doesn't close when we grow up, but sometimes it gets stuck. I've found that wonder doesn't ask for much, just a few minutes of stillness, a question without a quick answer, a moment where you look up instead of down. So today, I invite you to notice one thing around you that you usually ignore. The way your tea swirls, the chip paint on the wall, the way sunlight filters through blinds. That's not just background noise, it's creative fuel. Now let's be honest. Every creative mind has a mirror, and sometimes when you stand in front of it, all you see is what you're not. You compare, you overthink, you say things like, I'm not talented enough, it's already been done, I should be further by now. I've said those things too. Even starting this podcast, I hesitated for months. I rewrote this episode so many times, it almost didn't exist. But then I remember something. Creativity isn't a competition, it's a conversation. You don't have to be the loudest voice or the most original. You just have to be real, honest, awake. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, this is how I see the world. And that's enough. In the corner of the mind room is a desk. Sometimes it's clutter with notebooks, half-written ideas, and to-do lists. Other times it's empty, waiting. But this is where the magic shows up and where the resistance lives too. There's a myth that creativity only happens when inspiration strikes. But most of the time, creativity arrives when you sit down and you make space for it, even when it doesn't feel good. Isn't the sitting, the trying, the deleting, the beginning again? That's where the real artist is built. So if you are in a season where you're stuck, you sit at your desk. Even if all you do is light a candle, sharpen pencils, or stare at a blank page for 10 minutes. That counts. You're not blocked. You are becoming. Every mind room has a drawer you keep locked. The one with ideas too fragile to touch. Stories too personal to write. Dreams you haven't dared to say out loud. But here's what I've learned. That drawer doesn't want to stay locked forever. It's waiting for your courage, not your perfection. So maybe today, just open it a crack. Take out one sentence, one memory. Look at it. Hold it. Don't judge it. Just say, "Hi, I see you. I'm listening." Starting this podcast scared me. There's this voice in my head, maybe you know it too, that says, "Who are you to speak? Someone else is already doing it better or worse. What if nobody listens?" But I've learned something in all of my years of creating. When your heart speaks, you owe it the dignity of being heard, even if it's just by you. So this is me, listening to that voice inside of me and making space for yours too. But this first episode is not a guide, it's not a rule book, it's a beginning, a doorway, a little map in the dark. Every week, we'll wander into different corners of this creative space together. Sometimes poetic, sometimes practical, sometimes just pure soul searching. Sometimes I'll tell you a story, or sometimes I'll give you a prompt. Eventually, I will bring other minds, artists, dreamers, thinkers. But always, we'll return here to this space. Not perfect, just curious, alive, a little weird, and a lot wonderful. But for now, it's just you and me and a whole world inside. You are not too late. You are not behind. And the things you dream of making are dreaming of you too. So here's the Muse message for today. There are whole worlds inside of you. Don't be afraid to open the door. If this episode made you feel something, seen, inspired, or simply not alone, share it with someone else who lives in their imagination too. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to your mind, and I will meet you back here inside the creative mind.